Hi, this is Trisha Lee. This is my very first vlog in honor of finishing my 4-book series the last year. I just kind of wanted to share a little bit about my journey and how I feel about my decision to self-publish and just basically all the gazillion feels that I have about finishing a series. So finishing a 4-book series is a lot more emotional than I really expected it to be going in. I didn't expect to be so upset about the end game for a bunch of people who don't technically exist outside my head, or outside your heads now, so you're welcome for that. But basically, it hit me a lot harder, and not while I was drafting the last year, probably because I was drafting at an insane pace, like some kind of person who was mixing crack and speed, and those might be the same thing. When it came time to revise the book, and I was going through my edit letter, and there was a few notes that, not that I disagreed with, but that just kind of broke my heart a little, because I know if you're a writer or a reader, you kind of go along with the series thinking, well, we can go through all this hell with your characters because in the end, it's going to be okay, and they're all going to be happy and have wonderful lives. But we all know that sometimes that's not exactly what happens in books or in real life. Even though it's science fiction and fantasy, your characters are still real people. Mine are half people. Something. Anyways, you get the point. I wanted it to be realistic. After everything that Althea and Lucas and Pax have been through in this series, it didn't seem plausible to me or my editor or any of my critique partners that everything would be hunky-dory in the end and everybody would get exactly what they wanted. There needed to be an acknowledgement of how much had been lost along the way, and not just lives and not just places and the way that things used to be, but also the innocence of my characters and the fact that they would never be able to really look at the world the same way. And I pretty much had a breakdown. I spent a whole evening bawling, ugly crying, hopefully the ending of the book turns out well enough to keep everybody satisfied. I know I'm really pleased with it. As far as self-publishing this series, I know a lot of people have asked me if it's something that I regret or it's something that I am happy that I did. And I can tell you, after 4 books are out in the world and people are reading them, that I am super happy that I decided to self-publish the series. If you're thinking about self-publishing, one thing that I would recommend is that you manage your expectations. From the very beginning, I told myself in my head that I had reasonable expectations, and my goal was simply to make back my investment. And if this series, after I paid for editing and cover design and promotion and marketing and all that, if I could make money, then I would consider myself successful and I would be happy with how the books did. True. That's a reasonable expectation. Of course, there's those other expectations down in your heart middle area that are, not as easily controlled. For example, I'm going to publish my book, and there's going to be so much money. I can swim in it. I can walk into work and be like, hey, boss man, I quit. I quit. I quit. I quit, Mr. White. Sorry, J.J. Abrams. You can't direct the last year adaptation because Joss Whedon and Ben Affleck are already fighting over it. Possibly in pudding. And then the inevitable proposal from Zac Efron, to which I, spoiler alert, say hell yes. Every writer who publishes their book has a hope deep down, hidden, they don't talk about it, they certainly don't want to jinx it, that they're going to be the next J.K. Rowling, they're going to be the next Nicholas Sparks, they're going to be the next Stephanie Meyer, Dennis Lehane, somebody who everybody recognizes at the bookstore. If they tell you that they didn't hope that, they're probably not telling you the truth, because we all dream big. The truth is that there's only so many of us that get to be A-listers, and the rest of us keep writing, keep putting out books because we love writing. And that's me. I love writing books. I don't have any plans to stop writing books. And the opportunity to share my stories with actual readers in the real world has been a big enough payoff for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm okay with being a successful writer even if I'm not a famous writer, because really there's a lot of bullshit that goes along with being famous, and honestly, I don't shower often enough to have people with cameras following me around. Yeah. The confidence that I've gotten from self-publishing and just the idea that I can be in control of my own publishing career, which is not something that I felt a couple of years ago. I definitely felt out of control, which is hard for me. I think it's hard for a lot of people to feel like your future and your career and all of your hopes and dreams are pinned on other people deciding for you. So that's been a real pleasure, and honestly, it's worth more than stacks of cash, more than J.J. Abrams and Joss Whedon fighting over me, more than quitting my day job, more than okay, it's probably not better than making out with Zac Efron, but it probably, hopefully, will last longer. The best thing, hands down, that I got out of self-publishing the last year is my readers. Every single one of you. I would not trade a single reader for a traditional book deal. I wouldn't give one of you back. Everybody who read the books and took the time to leave me a message on Facebook or send me a tweet or send me an email telling me how much you enjoyed the book. And I especially love you readers who think my book is better than Twilight or The Hunger Games. Love hearing that. Seriously, Summer Ruins is out today, February 19th. It completes the last year series, and it's dedicated to my readers who made this all happen and make every single day when it's really hard to sit down in front of the computer a little bit easier. So thank you for reading. I hope that you enjoy reading Summer Ruins and the rest of the last year as much as I enjoyed writing it.